We go live on both of those. It's on. Hi, everybody. You guys know me. My name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the Go Getter family. And tonight I'm in Orlando, Florida with the Godfather, my idol. One of the main people that introduced me to the investing strategy that changed my entire life. I learned to become the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Lou Brown.
Yeah, baby.
I'm super excited, Lou. First off, thanks for being on my YouTube channel, to give my viewers the knowledge that changed my life and send it on a totally different trajectory. And what's crazy is I'm here at this seminar, guys, and all day, all new information for me. I give you guys a ton of value, a ton of investing strategy tips, and this stuff was all new to me. So it's going to be a game changer again. So Lou, you told us today that you didn't start off as some, rich guy that had a bunch of money and came from a rich family, any of that stuff. So I kind of respected that. So just tell me about how you kind of got started.
Well, Gene, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, no doubt about that, because when I got started on the wrong side of the tracks, if you know what I mean. So my mom came to this country as an immigrant. She came over as a war bride. And when she came to this country, she had met her American trooper husband. Everything was going to be fantastic. She gets here and she finds out he's an alcoholic and abuser. So she said, nope, can't do this. And then I make the joke, then she met my father, her second mistake.
She was unlucky then, right?
So it ended up just being the two of us. And, it's kind of like she didn't understand money at all. Mm-hmm. Money was something to be spent. And if you didn't have it, you spent it anyway. And so she got in with loan sharks. She got in with all kinds of stuff in her world. And it was not pretty. And I was there, so we were kind of like raising each other and trying to figure the world out.
Right.
And I had the good fortune of meeting her friends. And since I didn't have any brothers or sisters or cousins or uncles or aunts or grandparents, I didn't have nobody but just the two of us. So it's kind of like the two of us against the world, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure things out. And what happened was she introduced me, of course, to her friends. And since I didn't have any siblings or anything like that, it was like I became an adult really quick.
Yeah.
And so I remember this at 8 years old. I visited her friend, and she said, we bought the duplex. So they lived in a duplex, and they had been paying rent all this time.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, we bought the duplex. And that stuck in my mind, like, we bought the duplex. So she said, well, how did you do that? So she said, well, the people on the other side are paying enough money in rent to cover the mortgage.
Okay.
And I went, what? So it's like, they're living for free. Here we are hiding out from the rent man.
Yeah.
We want the rent. And my mother said, shh, don't answer the door. Don't answer the door. I said, why? She said, because we don't have the rent, but I'll have it Friday. I'm going to take it to them then. See, that's what it's like when you don't have no money.
Absolutely.
Right? You don't want to face anybody.
Yep.
You don't want to tell them, oh, this is what life is like. No, you don't want to say anything to anybody. And so I found out what it was like to be on the other side of the door, and to live life like that. Because it was an oil burning furnace in the middle of the apartment, brown commercial tile on the floor, metal cabinets in the kitchen. I mean, our dining table was a Samsonite card table, if you can imagine this.
Yeah, my grandmother used to have one.
Remember that? With the metal chairs. We bought it with S&H green stamps. You don't even know what S&H green stamps
It sounds old.
But it was old. That was the Bitcoin of the day. So what they had was they had these books. And when you went to the grocery store, you went to get gas, they actually give you these stamps. And you put these stamps in the book. And when you get enough stamps, you redeem them for stuff. It was merchandise. Right. So we bought the dining table for until I was 17 years old, was this Samsonite card table, right?
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, the point is that every time you hear that you can't do this, you can't do that. And then I just reflect back on my own experience, right? That, oh, absolutely, yes, you can. And just because I got the insight at 8 years old that Aunt Mabel could buy the duplex she lived in and live there for free.
Yes.
Now that caught my brain.
Love it.
I didn't need to know much more, except how did I do that? Well, she went to banks and qualified for loans.
Yeah.
And at 18 years old, she says to me, she says, you need to buy a house. And I said, buy a house? But you go to banks and qualify for loans.
Right.
I said, I can't do that. I can't qualify my way out of a paper bag. And you're telling me, she says, I don't know, but you need to meet my friend, Realtor Sue. So sure enough, I meet this lady. She comes over and picks me up. And we start driving around like I'm going to buy a house. Yeah, at 18 years old, like I'm going to buy a house. Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of like going with it, and she's showing me the properties. And anyway, we come up with this one property, and she says, well, that's an NENQ. I said, what's an NENQ? She said, non-escalating, non-qualifying loan. That means that for $45, I could take over somebody else's loan in their name on their credit report, and all I got to do is just take over the payment.
And you get the house.
And I got the house and the loan, right?
Oh my
So
goodness.
I took over their loan, and it was perfect. It was awesome because I didn't have to qualify for ding.
Right.
I didn't have to show nobody no credit reports or nothing.
Have anybody looking down their nose at you like your plan isn't good enough, your credit isn't good enough.
Exactly.
Love
and
it.
where are your assets? I ain't got none. How about that? So sure enough, that's exactly what I did. And that worked beautifully. And then the company I was with transferred me from, now what I did was quit college. So I actually started early. So I was at 19, I was already working for somebody else, right?
I don't blame you.
And they had a territory open up in Atlanta. And they said, hey, you can move to Atlanta, and we're going to give you this new territory, and we're going to pay your closing costs on selling the house, and we're going to pay your closing costs on buying a house. So it kind of like a bribe. Yeah. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And I went ahead and sold the house, which I wish I hadn't. But anyway, I sold the house in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I sold it in 2 days for a 37% profit.
Really?
And I said, there must be something to this real estate. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. So then I moved to Atlanta. I found a real estate agent. I said, I want to buy my next house the same way I bought that house. So sure enough, she started showing me houses just like that. And that's exactly what I did. I bought my next house, and it was fantastic because I was able to take over the existing financing. Right. I didn't go to the bank. I didn't qualify for a loan. I love that program.
So initially, and I got to rewind a little bit because there's a strategy now that people are using. It's called house hacking, right? Where they get a duplex and they rent out one side, and that renter pays their mortgage for them. So pretty much you house hacked before house hacking was a thing. Yeah. And that just speaks, this is what I talk to my viewers about all the time, guys. We've got to be problem solvers. So when we run into an obstacle or an issue, we don't think, oh my God, this is happening to me again. You know, what did I do? No, it has to be, how can I fix this, right? What do I need to do to make this work for me? And that's how Lou's mind works as an entrepreneur. And he was the first to do that, a house hack, and then went into subject two. And, you know, life has not been the same since.
It's been an awesome ride. It's been an awesome ride. Well, what happened for me is I liked that program so much, I wanted to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
And then Congress, in its infinite wisdom, passes a new law. It was called the Garn-St. Germain Federal Depository Institutions Act of 1982.
Whoa.
It's been 40 years, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a tongue twister,
been a long
too.
time.
Yeah.
So what happened was that gave the banks the right to put the due upon sale clause in the mortgage.
Oh, listen up, guys.
That was a killer.
Yes.
That was a killer for so many people because they weren't able to buy the homes the way I was buying homes at that time. And me too. I mean, they said, no, you can't do that anymore. And I said, well, what if we do something else? And so my friend said, no, you can't buy any more real estate anymore. I said, well, okay, that's fine. Let me just read this thing.
Yeah.
Let me just read this law.
Yeah.
What does this say? So buried long 1701 J3 D8 way down in the law, it says except. And many laws have exceptions. So you always want to check on the exceptions, guys, because the exceptions are the rule.
Yes.
And so I was able to see that when a person,
Mm-hmm.
you place your property in trust for estate planning purposes, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
the lender is prohibited from calling the loan due.
Oh my goodness. I love it too, because I talk to you guys all the time. I talk to people all the time. And it's just like, if we don't know the rules, we can't play the game. So
Exactly.
when they bury the rules away like that, it excludes us from playing the game while they're playing by a different set of rules, the elite and the wealthy. So we have to go apply. We have to go with our hat in our hand, wear our Sunday's best, with sweat on our foreheads, hoping that they're going to finance our dream of financial freedom. But there's always a way, around the problem. More than one way to skin a cat. And you found that rule, that exception. And since then, I love the name of both of the companies that you got going on, the Street Smart Investor.
Street Smart Investor. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Street Smart.
Yeah.
Be street smart. That's what I tell you to do. Look, you're smart about the streets and you're street smart.
There you go.
Two different things,
Yes.
right? And it's the same thing when it comes to real estate. So we've been street smart since 1992.
Yeah.
That's how I've been teaching others how to do this business. I'm a teacher at heart. I love to teach others to have financial freedom. I'm blessed that I've been able to get financial freedom because of learning this business. And I love to share it with other people as well.
Off topic real quick. How many millionaires have you, or how many people have you, just a guesstimate, I don't need an exact number, but how many people have you helped become millionaires? Just a guess.
Many, many, many. And the reason I say that is because we have current licensees of our system that are certified affordable housing providers.
Okay.
And they have multi-million-dollar businesses in their local markets. And they come back. You got one sitting right behind you in the room here. He's coming back, bringing his kids. So the kids are now.
So wait, so the certified affordable housing providers, they're obviously the name, they are providing affordable housing, but they're acquiring investment properties without credit checks and a lot of times without needing a lump sum of money as well.
Sometimes from government.
Really?
Government has properties almost always, and they've got problems that they got to solve, right? Like, how do we deal with these properties? How do we solve the affordability crisis, which is so true and it's so real? What do we do about that? So we actually created an entire brand around this so that we could access government, so that we could access all these different programs, even nonprofit organizations that are trying to help people.
Wait a second though, you're telling me, because everybody's like, oh, you can't do that. You have to go to a bank and fill out a credit application to buy an investment property, or you must have a large sum of money to buy an investment property. You're telling me that as certified affordable housing providers, you guys are buying houses from the government, from nonprofit organizations, and you're doing it by essentially becoming the bank?
We become the bank for the buyer. So the person moving into the property, instead of them having to go to the bank and qualify for a loan because they don't have good enough credit and they don't have good enough down payment. Why? Because they've had some kind of setback in their life, right? So this setback literally puts them in a bad position, right? So this new position gives them an opportunity to end up with home ownership. And that's what the game is, right? That we're circumventing the system because the system don't even want these people. The system isn't going to give them a loan anyway.
Right.
So what we're saying is, look, we're closer to the people. We're closer to the action. We can help. We can support when they have a problem. We can work with them. We've had to work with a lot of people through COVID, right? Because they would have been kicked out by anybody else.
Absolutely.
But no, we're saying, no, look, there's some programs, there's some other things that we can work with you on. And we've been able to help a multitude of folks through that issue. And now they're still in their home.
Right.
They're all back up to date again. And now that we're playing the game together again.
I love it. I love it. I love that word circumvent, right? Circumvent, because my audience and the viewers that are watching right now are people who, kind of grew up like us, right? I mean, we didn't have a silver spoon. We didn't have all the opportunities. However, we created opportunities, right? Because opportunities, they can be created because they're there. Yeah. They are there, but we just have to have the right mindset. And that was one of the big things you talked about today, you know, having that mindset. And once you do have that mindset and you've seen, you know, God's grace through those adversities, you can use that word circumvent when it comes to banks, government institutions.
People that are oppressed, they're put down. Mm-hmm. They're not given opportunities that they could have been given. Mm-hmm. If they only were given one more, just a little bit of a chance. Mm-hmm. So we help them in that way, because every month that they pay on time, we're giving them $100 credit towards their down payment. So we're helping them build up their down payment. Okay. So if they do get a loan from the bank, mm-hmm. they've already got their closing costs covered.
Right.
They've already got original money that they give us, and that's a credit towards their down payment.
Okay.
In addition, we give them a monthly credit. So they're now building up this nest egg.
Yes.
And then they can convert to our in-house financing program if the bank don't love them.
Okay. Okay. So wait.
So I love them, right? But I don't know why the bank don't love them, but I love them.
Right.
So they could just stay with us.
That's right. That's right. So hold on a second. So you Uncle Lou. That's what I heard him calling you today, Uncle Lou, right? So you're taking care of the people that are buying your houses, right? Taking care of them, giving them an opportunity, I guess, and just a hand up, right? It's not a handout because they're earning it, they're working for it. But then on top of that, guys, the people that Lou and his organization are helping, they're actually helping, you know, the owners of, or these licensees, right? Because they're pretty much servicing that debt that was taken over in some instances. So everybody's winning.
You know, that's a good point, because we're actually rescuing the banks too. When we come in and let's say these loans are behind in payments, mm-hmm. then we're actually coming in and reinstating those loans. Well, does that help the bank? Of course it helps the bank.
Yeah.
Now, what are we doing with the seller? We're helping the seller too, because their credit was wrecked because they couldn't make the payments. Mm-hmm. Now we're reinstating that loan and we're making the payments every month. So that helps the seller as well, because it restores their credit.
Yes.
It gives mm-hmm. them a new chance as well.
Right.
So we're helping the seller and we're helping the buyer, because now we can do more houses because we don't have to spend a fortune getting new loans from the bank.
Right.
We're just taking over that existing financing.
Mm-hmm.
Now it gives us a nest egg to work with those folks that are moving in and help them end up with homeownership
right.
as well.
I love that. That is beautiful. And guys, Lou Brown has been doing this for 40 years. 40 years. And a lot of my viewers, especially the people that are here from TikTok, you guys like to do wholesaling. Everybody that wants to get into investing with no money thinks wholesaling first. And that is beginning to be regulated at a heavy level. Wholesaling is going to be regulated out of the game, just like Lou's first strategy when he got his first house was. And he moved on, and you've been using subject to and creative financing for 4 years. Have you ever gotten a loan from a bank to buy an investment property, a single family home or 2 units?
Gene, you ain't gonna believe me. Never.
Not one time?
I've never been to the bank. I never qualified for a loan for a single family or small multifamily ever.
Oh my God. That's
beautiful. Now we go to the bank to make deposits.
Yes, I say it all the time. Big checks too, big ones.
And I didn't say that I don't send my customers to qualify for a loan at the bank,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but I don't.
Yes.
So in order to buy the real estate, no, my plan is for the seller to be the bank. Mm-hmm. This is my favorite thing. The seller is the bank, right? So when the seller is the bank, we don't have to go to the bank.
That's right.
And then we become the seller to our new buyer. And we become the bank for our new buyer as well.
Okay.
So it's a hand in hand, because the seller's willing to sell to us this way. Mm-hmm. We could sell to our customer that way.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's giving the power back to the regular people, to the regular everyday people. And we are allowed to do this, guys. We can do this, and everybody is benefiting from it. That's the beautiful part about it.
That's what I love about it, because again, these are people that would have been turned down by the bank anyway, or have been turned down by the bank.
Yep.
In fact, real estate agents often bring us our customers
Right.
because they've already gone through it with these folks. They've been turned down.
Mhm.
And now the real estate agent says, can you do anything with them? We say, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We can,
I got
we
this.
can help. We can help. And so what happens is the agent brings us people with down payment money. The
Mhm.
agent gets paid for that. So
Right.
this is a throwaway lead for the agent. In
Mhm.
fact, they usually don't know what they can do with it.
Right.
And we're saying, oh yeah, we can work with those folks. So I have licensees all over the country that are certified affordable housing providers.
Uh-huh.
And I have them do that, can within their community, connect with the real estate agents
Mhm.
and the mortgage brokers
Mhm.
and the bankers as well. So anybody that's turning anybody down, hold on,
Yeah.
we might be able to help.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. So I get asked this question a lot because, you know, there's a small percentage of people. I mean, we're entrepreneurs. We're weird, kind of, right? But so most people that are employees or have that employee mindset, the first thing they're looking for is the reason that you can't do something, right? Well, there's the due on sale clause. Our banks aren't going to allow you to do this. So have you ever had a loan call due?
I have not, but I have had people come to me as a consultant.
Mhm.
They have had theirs done,
Okay.
have called due,
Hmm.
and the first thing I ask them is, whose paperwork did you use?
Yes, that's paperwork.
Because there is a distinction. If
Mhm.
you did not do it right, then yes, the banks can call it due and they can get it done. They can get the foreclosure done.
Mhm.
But when based upon how you teach them to do what we do,
Mhm.
then the banks are off the hook.
Right.
Now, you see, when we say the word banks, it's important to understand that who you're really dealing with is the servicer of the loan. You are
Mhm.
not dealing with the lender.
Right.
The lender is somebody else entirely
Mhm.
that actually offloaded the need to collect those payments
Right.
to a servicer.
Mhm.
So the servicer, in order to get all those millions of loans, will make an agreement with the bank that
Mhm.
says, look, we're going to make the first 3 payments. So if anything goes wrong, the servicer's making them first 3 payments.
I did not know that.
How
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, that's new.
So
Mhm.
that's a pooling and servicing agreement that the lender
Mhm.
does with the servicer.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
servicer says, look, y'all don't have to worry. You're going to still be getting your money for
Mhm.
this next 3 payments. Now, what's really cool about this is, do you think the servicer might be happy when that loan gets reinstated because they were making them payments?
They were going to be on the hook.
Some of
too.
these servicers, though,
Yeah, I've dealt with them.
are greedy
Mhm.
and they are trying to steal that house. I promise you.
Yes,
They're
I've
happy
been in
to
that
make that
situation.
payment.
Yeah.
They make that payment every month to the lender so they can come in and steal a house themselves
Right.
for themselves.
Yeah.
Never
yeah.
mind the lender,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So you have to watch. Some of these servicers are legit and
Yeah.
some of them ain't so legit.
Right.
So we have some techniques that we call them $10 houses, and
Okay.
we have some techniques that we teach that helps basically slow that car down.
I love it. $10 houses too, guys. You guys heard that right? He said $10. $10 for a house. Think about it. Think about it. But you got to come in. You got to put in the work. You got to have your mindset right. But Lou, I love to give my viewers some value, give them some good tips, and I mean, you're the Godfather, man. You're the OG. For those, yeah,
baby.
the OG.
Count me in.
Hey, Lou's the man. Lou is the man. I love it. So Lou, give my viewers a tip on where they can find good off-market deals. I give them tips all the time. You're the man. Just give them a good tip.
I tell you what. Well, see, it's important to know. I call it stealth buying. So the way that I buy my houses a lot is by connecting with the community. So many people, before they sell, actually tell somebody else, that they have this house, they have this situation. And then whomever knows you can bring that deal to you, can bring that lead to you. And you can pay them a referral fee. You can pay them a percentage of the deal. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can be cut. And it's becoming a community-based business. So as a community-based provider, and that's what we are. We're certified affordable housing providers supporting the community. And affordable housing is what the person can afford. It has nothing to do with the price of the home. The person. So we got $1 million affordable housing and we got $100,000 affordable housing. So it's a whole variety of different housing that comes up. And the fun thing is that we're able to have a broad base. So whoever brings us a lead, whoever brings us a deal, that can be a real estate agent who just had a deal fall apart, right? And they say, here, can you do something with this? Or deals that have bad titles. I love bad titles.
Yes.
Bring them on.
What do you mean by bad title? Like liens?
They can't close the transaction because it's got some kind of lien or it's got some kind of hiccup in the title. Some kind of problem with that title. Bring it on. Bring it on.
You can work with that.
We can do tax liens, tax deeds,
mechanics,
adverse possession, all kinds of cool stuff. And that's just advanced type strategies, but yet it absolutely works. And in your business, in the course of your business, you're going to have all kinds of things coming your way. So it's good to learn all kinds of things too. Otherwise, you just walk away from it. You just say, oh my gosh, this house is upside down. There's nothing I can do with it. I'm going to walk away from it. And we say, no. Wait a minute. Hold on. That might be a $10 house.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see what we can do with this. It might have bad paperwork. It might give us an opportunity to do some other things with it. So I definitely love that. Another thing I love is probate. Probate is another thing. Somebody died. Well, did they die with real estate? Yes. Well, then that's going to pass on to the heirs. So one thing we'll do is we'll do the probate for the heir.
You'll go through the probate process for
We'll actually go through it with them. And we sign an agreement with them that when we do that, we lease the property before then, so we can go ahead and rent out the property.
Got control.
Man, I'm telling you.
Own nothing, control everything.
Yeah, baby.
Love it. Love it. So I got to step off camera for 1 minute here. I got to have you do something.
Yeah.
Gotta have you do something, Lou.
Oh, baby. Look at this. Look at this.
That's my own personal copy there. Guys, this book, it'll change your life. It will change your life. I'm telling you. And the crazy part is, I was having lunch with Lou today, and I told him I knew there was something to it when I went to, the big B&N bookstore. I don't want to say any, names, but I couldn't find the book. I checked my apps on my phone. I couldn't get the audiobook. I couldn't find it. So I look on the big Amazon, and that was the only place I could find this book. So they were trying to bury away this information that Lou is giving us. And buy, hold, and sell, the street smart way to real estate wealth. Cash now, cash flow, cash forever. I love it. I love it. So before you sign this for me,
wait a minute. I just want to say that I'm so proud of you. Will you guys look at this? He's got all this tabbed out, man. I'm looking at this going, wow. Oh my gosh. You would look at all the highlights in here. He's got pages turned up. He's got highlights in here. I mean, he is all over this thing like a tent. This is look at this. This is so cool.
Yeah. I don't buy them to look at them. I'm using
no, you
them
don't.
Yeah,
you are into this. Like I am personally very, very excited about this just because you are so into this.
Absolutely.
This means a lot to me. Really. I just gotta say, this means a lot to me.
Yeah, I love it.
Because it took me 10 years to write this book.
Really?
My friend,
it's quality.
It took me 10 years to write this book. And people say it reads like a movie, because they're kind of like moving through the whole business in the book and everything. So yeah, man, I will be thrilled to sign this book for you. No doubt about it.
That book, it helped me. I've acquired 6 houses and I've done 7 transactions just in my city. I did that in 6 months. And I started teaching people. I've been helping people all around the country. And that allowed me to, you guys know, I'm from Sioux City, Iowa, man. People don't even know if that's a freaking place, right? So I'm down here. I'm in Orlando, Florida. I did a show on Wednesday talking about coming down here. And a couple of my viewers were from Florida. So one of them showed up today, and he told me that he stepped out on faith, rode a bus 1 hour and 20 minutes to get here because he wanted to meet me. And he didn't have the $99 to come to the seminar. So what that book and the knowledge that you have put out there has allowed me to do today was to, to pay for that viewer's spot at the seminar,
Oh, wow.
and I was humbled that he had come that far to meet me first off, and that I had the ability to do that because of what you put out there. So
I didn't even know about
that's
that.
a seed
That is
you
so,
planted, man.
Man,
Yeah.
that is so, well, that's what I believe in. Pay it forward.
Mhm.
I have been gifted so many things from God. I thank God for
Me too.
leading me to real estate and
Mhm.
for giving me this opportunity to share it with other people,
Mhm.
because you're planting a seed not only for yourself,
Mhm.
but your family and literally generations to come.
Mhm.
And that's important to know, that each one of us are making an impact. We're making a difference. And that's why I love what we're doing, because we're making a difference in families' lives, giving them an opportunity for generations to come, because they otherwise wouldn't have had an opportunity to own real estate, right?
That's true. Yeah.
But now they have a piece of the rock, right?
Yes.
They have something,
Mhm.
and they have something that they can use and benefit from.
Mhm.
So as the value of the real estate goes up, that's equity. They
Mhm.
can tap into that if they need a loan.
Mhm.
Otherwise, they pay down, pay off the loan,
Mhm.
put themselves in a free and clear place in
Yep.
life, which is, guys, you always want to put yourself, if you possibly could, pay off your debt. Now, there's good debt and there's bad debt,
Mhm.
but good debt is when you are building a business, you're creating a future for yourself, and the new folks that are moving in are covering that debt. So that's exactly where you want to be. And it's just, I am so honored to be able to share things with your folks.
Yeah.
This has been
I
a
love
thrill
it.
for me.
I appreciate it. Guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if we provided you some value, consider subscribing. Lou, we got one of your websites going across the bottom there. I want to make sure your affordable housing site is up so people know how they can get in the game.
Yeah.
I want them to know. Talk to us about that before we go a little bit.
Wow.
And then.
So what we have done is we've created a brand. It's called Certified Affordable Housing Provider. And we're teaching and training people just like you've been learning today. And
Mhm.
we got 2 more days, baby. We
I'm
still got a
excited.
lot more information, and we've got a whole online group as well. So if they want to join us online, they can do that.
Okay.
But what's cool is that we are building a future, and we're creating a brand where we're making a difference in communities.
Mhm.
And I mean this sincerely, that we want to have people all over the country that are impacting their local communities, making a big difference. And also sellers, they want to get rid of properties. Well, imagine that you're going to them and telling them that their property is going to be used in a program that helps a deserving family end up with home ownership.
Right.
And I discovered that really selling a property is an emotional thing.
Yes.
It's a financial thing, but it's also an emotional thing.
Absolutely.
And people would rather sell to somebody that's going to be selling to a homeowner and not a bank.
Right.
Or not a hedge fund,
Yeah.
right? But real people that are going to occupy that property, that means something to a seller. And that's part of the message that we do. And we have a program called the Path to Home Ownership. You're going to be able to offer that as well. And that path to home ownership is to attract those folks that need us, not want us, but need us, so they can end up with home ownership. So that's what I'm teaching people, how to become certified affordable housing providers.
Yes.
And for those of you that are looking for a house for yourself, here's the way to go. This is exactly the way to go. If you can't go to the bank and qualify for a loan, we've got certified affordable housing providers. We call them CAPS, and we got them all over the country. So we can definitely help you in getting your own house as well. So that's kind of like what your future can look like. And you find people like this. Oh my gosh, what amazing things can happen in your life. I'm so blessed that I was able to discover real estate at 18 years old, and I've been doing this for a few years. Huh?
a couple. Yeah.
Over 40 years buying, holding, and selling property. And that's really why I called this book Buy, Hold, Sell, right? Because that's really the whole name of the game for me. If you're a flipper, you're just flipping out. And you're not really staying in the business, staying in the game. You're creating taxable events and all kinds of problems for yourself that you don't have to do. When you buy, hold, sell, now you're creating something where you're able to keep the money and keep the tax benefits and be able to create a sustainable business for generations to come.
Grow that wealth, guys. Lou Brown, he's just like us. right? Just like me, just like my Go Getter family members, and the people that the certified affordable housing providers are just like us. And then the people that they're providing home ownership to are just like us. So guys, get off the bench. You can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat. You can't. And we're proof. You know, Lou started it, and I'm kind of bringing up the tail end of it, and it's going to continue to grow. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching tonight, giving us your time. And Lou, thank you so much.
You know what? I
Pleasure,
want to bless you folks. This book, you're correct, and you got it off of Amazon.com.
Yes, I did.
But you didn't get the $5 off.
I didn't. I needed it too at the time.
I'm going to offer you guys this is available on Amazon.com, but you can come to my site, and that's streetsmartinvestor.com/BHS book. That's buy, hold, sell, BHS book, and you get $5 off. And we would just love to be of service to you, and be like Gene. Just go through, devour this information, because this is what got him here. And he realized that this is so important and valuable for his future. So you need to do the same thing.
You guys heard him. Be like Gene. You heard him. And guys, right. I'll put that link in the description later. This video is going to be up. So guys, that book, I mean, even if it's not for the real estate, just how you interact with people, right? It will help you. So we're always negotiating. Life's a negotiation. So guys, thanks for joining us. And I'll be making some videos for the rest of the seminar, let you guys know how it's going. So
oh yeah, baby.
For sure.
Well, listen, if you want to join us for the event, it's called millionairejumpstart.com. millionairejumpstart.com. You can go right there and you can get the discounted pricing as well.
2 more days left, guys. Come through. All right.
Yeah,
we'll see you later. We're out of here. Till next time. Let's get to it, y'all.
You're awesome.